yeah, I would say it was definitely a wake up call because, you know, people from my area, like people that were just like me, you know, you go on the road, you have your little gang beefs or whatever, and it is serious, like your friends die and you feel like you need to do something about it. But it's like, yo, when you get caught and you're having to sit down for life, it's just a different thing, man. I'm seeing people snitch, like, you know, I'm seeing like my cellmate, for example, he had 6 cold Ds and 2 of them ended up snitching. And one of them that snitched, like, because they had the story, yeah, with like the main guy, he wrote up the story, the alibi, gave the message over in church, like, this is the story, whatever, because his cold Ds was on other wings. And then they went to court, and then one of the guys like brought the letter to court, like, yo, this is their story, this is their alibi. He's giving it to me to do you know what I mean? I wasn't involved. So he just straight snitched, and he ended up getting a life sentence anyways. So he snitched and ended up getting life sentence under joint enterprise.
Snitches get stitches.
And he got cut as well straight away. Yeah. When he came back, they saw each other on the walkway, and he got cut in his face straight away.
Literally. Wow.
Yeah.
What other acts of violence did you see in Belmarsh?
Do you know what? Belmarsh is like so high security, yeah. They are quick, man. Like, they're quick, like, when it comes to responding to violence. Do you know what I mean? So Belmarsh wasn't really Belmarsh wasn't really where I saw most of the violence, but a lot of people got battered in cells. I saw a few hot waters, a few cuttings, but like, you know, they stopped. So there was like someone got cut with a tuna can, and then they started doing something where you have to open your can at where the servery is and then leave your, so there's only, they didn't sell can openers or nothing like that. You had to go to the servery, get it opened, and then throw your can away at the bin over there. And then they started doing things like, if you use the razor, you have to use your ID, you get a prison ID, give them your ID, they'll give you a razor to shave. When you finish shaving, before you can get your ID back, you need to give in the razor, because a lot of people get the razor, break it up and turn it into a shank.
Of course.
So they was really on it, man. And if a fight broke out, they'll be on the wing 30 seconds, man, like with the big dogs and that, you know. They got like these big Alsatians, German Shepherds, and they react really quick, man. Do you know what I mean?
They don't muck about.
No, they don't play about, man, in Belmarsh. A lot of the violence comes from the prison officers.
In what way?
Like, they'll batter you, man. They'll batter you. Like, you see the geezer that had chopped off Lee Rigby's head?
Oh, yeah.
He got battered by the officers in there. He lost all
Knocked
his teeth.
his teeth out and everything.
Yeah, he lost all his teeth. He got battered in the block. There was a time when one of the senior officers was banging everyone up, but he's got an attitude problem. He's on a power trip. I think he was in the Iraq War or something like that. He's one of these officers, and then he's telling this kid's like 18 years old. He's like, oh, he's saying in a disrespectful way, like, get behind your door. And the kid's like, yeah, but why do you have to speak to me like that? And he's like, get behind your door. And everyone's like watching it. Do you know what I mean? So this kid feels the need to like bang out. So the kid, like, and this kid's small, he's tiny, and the officer's like big and built. So the kid throws a punch. He quickly gets put down. Obviously they press a button and then all the screws run on. So they've got him in a star shape where they've got his legs touching his bum and his arms behind his back. So he's just fully contained, yeah. And then the SO was just grabbing his head and just smashing it off the floor, like kept banging it repeatedly. And no one could really do anything about it because there's so many officers. And then when you, if you say you complain about that shit, nothing happens, you know. The CCTV is not working, like all of these things. So yeah, they do, like, a lot of the violence comes from officers. in prison.
They say that about Cat A prisons, don't they? They're generally less fights.
Because the consequences are more severe, because it's the more serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's more serious.
I would say in the higher securities, the violence is worse, but it's less often.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, it happens. Like when the Cat C's, like you get fights all the time, break out. But it's like, you know, someone got punched up, someone probably got maybe cut or something like that. But in the high securities, it's like someone's been stabbed the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? He's been stabbed up, or he's been chopped up, or like he's been tortured there for hours, kind of thing. Like it does get really bad in the high securities. So I got 10 years and I ended up in high securities.
So in Norwich then, you said you had to get your hustle on to get by because you didn't have anyone supporting you. You've had your epiphany now this time around about that lifestyle. Do you still feel you got to get some kind of in the mix somewhat to get by, or did you?
Yeah, I had to, man.
Yeah.
That's why I was in the mix of things, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm spending the next 5 years here in prison. No one's supporting you. You need to support yourself, kind of thing.
Was that a lot harder though in the Cat A's?
Nah, because because you see Cat A's, yeah, you got like I wasn't in Cat A's, so I was in Belmarsh. That was a Cat A, but when I got sentenced, I was sent to a Category B, and everyone with 10 years and over goes to Category B. That's like the cut-off point, 10 and over. And I actually had the smallest sentence in there. Do you know what I mean? Everyone else is doing like big ones.
Which prison was this?
So Dovegate was the first one I went to. Dovegate's in Staffordshire. Private prison, which was decent. But a lot of people either doing life, IPP, or just big drug dealers, big sentences kind of thing. And yeah, in those prisons, it's like that's where you'd find the officers that was bringing in packs and stuff like that. And there was a lot of like parcels coming over, and there's a lot of money to be made from there. And because people had been in prison for a long time, that you make a lot of money in prison. So everyone kind of had money, you know, like, so it wouldn't be hard to sell something. Say you wanted to sell something for a few grand, like the money would be in straight away, kind of thing, you know.
Wow.
Because phones were going for like 1,000, 1,500 for a phone. Some cases like $2,000 if it was scarce, like, and people have the money to pay it. Do you know what I mean? The money outside.
So is it going from street to street, the money, like outside person to outside person? Like if your IOU, my girlfriend outside gives it your girlfriend outside, something like that.
Yeah. Or usually no one meets anyone. It's just bank accounts. Like, you know, send, like, give me the account details, send the money. When I get the confirmation it's in, you get whatever you wanted, like whatever you ordered. If it was a phone or tobacco, because tobacco got made illegal, so that was kind of on the black market. Weed, whatever. Things like that.
Was Dovegate, you said?
Dovegate,
was that quite a violent place?
Yeah. It was violent. There was definitely violence there. Stabbings. Someone had like a weight thrown on their leg and it snapped like in the gym, like their thigh bone, and it was like a 20k disc, like a 20 kg disc. Yeah, I was kind of mad. But yeah, there was a bit of violence there. But like I say, in these prisons, like, because people had, like, a lot of people doing life, a lot of people on, like, can't really see the end of the tunnel. So, like, they ain't really got much to lose, do you know what I mean? But everyone's very respectful, you know? If you're a respectful person, everyone's got to live here together. We're all doing a long time. Everyone's very respectful. There's a lot of morals, a lot of respect in these prisons. But it's like when it does go off, someone's done the wrong thing. It really does go off. Do you know what I mean?